Hello to anyone watching. I decided to make this video to do a review of the Big Fish 120. I'm a regular dude, full-time job, 2 kids, a lot of reviews on YouTube, just too in-depth. I was looking for quick answers, and hopefully this review of the Big Fish 120 will be something down and dirty to see if you want to purchase this kayak or not. Starting off, I bought this kayak on austinkayaks.com. I live in Las Vegas. I spent about $1,000 on it with a paddle. They had a deal going on. Took about 2 weeks for shipping. I got the white, black, and gray. I think it's called an urban camo. I wanted the green one, but it was out of stock and I needed a kayak ASAP. So I'm just gonna go over the details from front to back, try to keep it as brief as possible. So let's get after it. Excuse my messy garage. Like I said, I'm just a regular dude who likes to fish, cast a line. So first thing, what kind of sold me on this kayak was the molded in handles. They're really strong. I had an older kayak that I had to rig up to be able to hold. These are molded in. Got a nice bungee area here with a deep well. People on YouTube have said that they were able to stand up here. That's how stable this kayak is. I'll be taking it out next week, so hopefully I'll have a review on how stable it is. We do have, if you notice up here, the 2 built-in rod tip holders. So what this allows you to do is it allows you to store your rods from here to there, protecting the rod tip from breaking, bending, snapping, all that stuff. A lot of people say it's kind of useless, but once again, I'll see if I actually use them, but I thought it was a pretty cool built-in feature. Next up, which sold me on this kayak, was the sonar pod. So not only is this area right here used for storage if needed, I haven't taken the manual out yet, but you are able to mount your fish finder on the bottom of this sonar pod, which makes it easy. You just squeeze these handles and the pod comes out. As you can see, it goes right to the bottom. You can see the floor of the garage. What this allows you to do is to mount your fish finder on the bottom of this. So let's say you're out somewhere after a good day of fishing or a bad one, you decided that you wanted to go to a restaurant. You're able to take this whole system and remove your transducer from the bottom, and you can lock it inside your car, leave your kayak in the bed of the truck. It also has areas up here to mount your fish finder. Everything is flush, everything is nice. There's even space in there to keep your fish finder battery or however you have that rigged up. Moving on, I know this sounds silly, but a feature I liked is this bigger water bottle holder, beer holder, cocktail holder, whatever you want. I was having problems with my Hydro Flask or 50/50 flask or one of the thousands I have out now. My old kayak didn't have room for it, so I was always moving around, but this one actually fits it just fine. And it's a good distance away from the seat, so there's no kicking it, no rocking it. And it just helps with staying hydrated when you're out there on the water, whether it be beer or water. It does have a paddle system. I'm sorry, not a paddle system, a footrest system, which is very easy to use. Just take this gray thing, pull it back, fully adjustable. I'm 6 foot tall, about 190 pounds. When they are fully extended like that, my legs don't even reach them, so I will have to bring them back in a little bit. This kayak is made by 3 Waters, who do the Feel Free lure, and they also do this Big Fish 120 now, which what I got. Their rail system is a little bit different than others, being that you do need to buy an adapter for most of your accessories. I did buy them. I will go over them either in this video or a new video, but you have about a good, I don't know, what is that, 3.5 feet of rail system there, rail system here, and also in the back of the kayak, rail system. Easy to use. The kayak I had before, I had to drill into it to mount my fish finder holder, my rod holder, but this one, everything just goes in nice and smooth. Now, the one thing that absolutely sold me on this kayak is the deck space. There is nothing to get in the way from you standing up, kneeling down, sitting down, laying down if you've had too much to drink. You can fully stand on this kayak, and what it does have is a cathedral hole system. As you can see here, almost kind of acts like a catamaran with 2 buoys, if you will, on each side. People have stated that they're over 200 pounds. They're able to put all of their weight on one side, and this kayak will not tip. Once again, I will test that out next week. We have a strap here to help pull yourself up. Once you do want to stand up, this is probably for someone who's a little bit heavier or a little bit unstable on their feet. All the reports I read is you can stand up on this thing, no issue. Other reports that are coming in, pretty loud down here. So people have cut out yoga mats or little workout pads to help dampen that noise. The kind of fishing I'll be doing, I'm not really worried about being too loud. Plenty of deck space. I will say that this is the second feature that absolutely sold me on this kayak, second to all this deck space, was the seat. My old kayak, I had to put a boat seat on it, and it just was never comfortable. My legs were always cramped, and my knees were getting hurt. My butt started hurting. After a couple beers, I was ready to call it quits, but this seat is fully adjustable. I did notice when I bought it, it was a little stiff to move around, so I went ahead and put a little bit of lubricant in the grooves. That way the chair just slides as easy as possible. What we have here is the highest position, probably good for paddling, rowing, or if you just want to gain a viewing angle if you're doing some spot fishing. So what's cool about the seat is it just simply slides forward. You have this all the way crazy reclined position. This is, I guess, if you're just passing out, you got some power bait on the line, and you just don't care what happens. If we continue to move it, sorry about the camera shaking like that, we have a low position. We have a slightly more reclined position. And what's really cool about this is it can go all the way up. And I'm not going to completely tether it down, but you have these buckles here, and you have these bungees that will go around the back, and they lock in over here. What that allows us to do, I think it's called like a stand bar. So this thing will not move. It is completely locked into place wherever you want to put it. That way when you're standing up, you can lean against it. If it's windy, if there's a little bit of current, or if you just want to rest your legs on this to get a further cast a little bit, somewhere just to plant your body weight, this is your spot. Once again, second reason I bought this kayak after the deck space. What else I liked about this kayak is we do have some in-storage space over here. These are pretty standard. It looks like they could fit your tackle box, whatever you need, should be able to slide right in there if you have the little plano boxes or whatnot. However, I have noticed, I haven't been on the water yet, but when I am sitting in the seat, this is a hard area to access with your hands. If you're sitting in there, you really have to kind of do like pickle hands and pull it out. So I don't know how functional that will be. But with all this deck space, there's no reason why you couldn't put a little tie down here with some Velcro and keep your boxes up here. Or if you want to keep them tucked away in there, or if you're a fisherman who doesn't like changing out lures a lot, then you have nothing to worry about. You can see just how much space it has on this kayak with the seat up. I mean, practically you could lay down there, or if you had a younger kid with you, which I do, you could put a life jacket on them. They can sit on the floor. This thing, I believe, is rated up to 400 pounds, so that shouldn't be an issue, especially with that cathedral hull design. Everything should be good. I'll walk to the other side of the kayak because everything you see here is the same. We do have a good amount of depth here, so I think if you're taking on high winds out here in Las Vegas and Lake Mead, it can get extremely windy to where it white caps, and I don't foresee this dipping low enough in the water to take on water like my old kayak did. I have a nice logo here of the Big Fish 120. We have paddle holders on each side. There is a groove here for your paddle. Just lock it in, pretty standard for kayak things. This is the clip for your rod if you are going to use the onboard rod holders. We have more molded in handles here, one right here and one right here. This kayak does weigh 100 pounds, so it's going to be a little bit more heavier than your normal kayaks. However, I was able to get it up here on these two sawhorses just by putting both my hands on this side and just kind of lifting it up. I don't see it being a problem getting in or out of the truck. Moving to the rear here, we do have two flush angled rod holders with already attached leashes. I thought this was a pretty cool feature. Not that I've lost anything yet. I know that day will come, but I can at least leash my rods in here. We have more tie down spots over there. And so I am going to add a trolling motor. I had one on my older kayak, and I just don't like paddling all that much, and especially for the big lakes or reservoirs that I go to. So we have a nice big deep well here that can fit a 12-volt battery. I'm gonna work on a custom mount holder for the trolling motor, but we have plenty of room. Once again, reports were insane. People have stood all the way in the back here, and this thing has not tipped. So I will be testing that out. Hopefully I can get it on video. Two tie downs here for whatever you want. An additional one there. Towards the back of the kayak, Three Waters logo right here. We do have a drain hole just in case you got some water. and it needs to come out. More bungee system here, it's really tight. Everything's there. We do have a molded handle in the back as well that goes through and through. Here's just a rear view of that cathedral hole. As you can see, those holes go all the way through the side. Gives you that nice stable feeling on the water. This kayak does come with a rudder. The rudder can attach from here. All the holes and everything you need for the rudder is currently built in. I did not get it, but everything I read saying once you get it, this thing handles way better in the wind and is more stable. So that will be coming in the future after I take this out and see if I actually need it or not. That's as simple as I'm going to keep this review. I really don't think there's anything else pressing that I need to tell you about this kayak. Like I said earlier, I'm just a regular dude, 2 kids who likes to cast a line every now and then. So I was looking for something under $1,000 that gave me more room, better seating, more spots to fish from. And I think this kayak just is going to be awesome and hit all those points. I did buy some accessories that I will label in another video here. I'll go through them, I'll put them on, I'll let you guys know about the track system, the adapters that I bought to see how they work. And then moving forward, if this catches traction, I do have an older kayak that maybe a beginner person would like to see and how I rigged it up. I was able to put a trolling motor with the boat seat, fish finder, all that jazz, and it's just a low-level $200 kayak, but it served me well for about a good 3 years. So if you can get out there, drink a beer, catch some fish, have some fun. If this video helped, let me know. If you have specific questions, leave them. I guess, I don't know how this works, in the comment section below is what everyone always says. So let me know. Talk to you guys later.